This is going to blow your mind, Lahore. City of lights, they call it, but darkness lingers. In the heart, a shadow, a hospital. Once a beacon of hope, now a husk of fear. Locals whisper its name with a shudder. They know this is no ordinary place of healing. This is where the sick come to die, and the dead to linger. The air grows heavy as you approach. A chill crawls down your spine. Something is wrong here. You can feel it. Legend has it, the hospital stands on cursed ground, an ancient burial ground, disturbed. The whispers say the sick were laid to rest here centuries ago. Now they cannot find peace. Their souls, trapped within the hospital walls, they roam the halls at night, seeking solace, seeking revenge. Some say it's just superstition, old wives' tales meant to scare, but the locals know better. They've seen the shadows moving in the windows, heard the screams echoing from within. The hospital, built in the early 1900s, has a long and storied past. Over the years, it has seen countless patients, some of whom never left. Tragic events have marked its history, from mysterious deaths to unexplained disappearances. Nurses have long whispered of phantom footsteps and eerie presences. Paranormal activities have been reported for decades, with cold spots and disembodied voices being common occurrences. A doctor was once found dead in his office, his face contorted in terror, adding to the hospital's dark lore. The stories have spread over the years, each more gruesome than the last. But are they just stories? Or is there something truly sinister lurking within these walls? The truth, as always, is more complex. The hospital wasn't always a place of horror. It began with good intentions, a place of healing for the poor. But good intentions can't outrun greed. Mismanagement and corruption took root. Funds vanished, supplies dwindled, patients suffered. The hospital, once a symbol of hope, became a breeding ground for despair. Neglect and indifference poisoned the air, as real and as deadly as any disease. But the most shocking secret? Deep in the basement, whispers of a hidden ward where patients vanished without a trace. What really happened there? The answer might be more terrifying than you can imagine. Her name was Fatima, a young girl, no more than 10, admitted with a high fever, nothing more. But her condition worsened. Doctors were baffled. Her fever spiked. She spoke of shadows, of cold hands touching her at night. Her parents, desperate, turned to prayer, to amulets, to anything that might save their daughter. Fatima died a week later, cause of death unknown. Her case became a chilling whisper in the hospital's grim history, just another victim of the shadows. This story is just one of many that highlight the haunted hospital's dark past. Our exploration uncovers these eerie truths, reminding us of the mysteries that still linger within its walls. What do you think about Fatima's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to watch our next video for more spine-chilling content. Stay tuned. Section 6, a truth more terrifying. But Fatima's story, like many others, held a darker truth. A truth that was buried deep within the walls of this forsaken place. It was a truth that many feared to speak of, a truth that was whispered only in the dead of night. Rumors spread through the hushed corridors, whispers of medical experiments that defied all ethical boundaries. These were not just any experiments, but ones that pushed the limits of human suffering and endurance, of patients used as guinea pigs. Innocent lives were subjected to unimaginable horrors, all in the name of science. The doctors who were supposed to heal became the harbingers of pain and despair. The whispers pointed to a hidden wing, sealed off, forgotten by time, but not by those who suffered within its walls. This wing was a place of nightmares, where the cries of the tormented echoed through the halls, a place where the sick were not treated but studied. Their pain was meticulously recorded, their suffering analyzed. It was a place where humanity was stripped away, leaving only the cold, clinical gaze of the experimenters, where unethical experiments were conducted under the cover of darkness. The night provided a shroud for the atrocities committed, hiding the true extent of the horror from the outside world. This was the real horror of the haunted hospital. Not ghosts or spirits that roamed the halls, but the living nightmares created by human hands. The true terror lay in the actions of those who wielded power without conscience, but the monsters that lurked within the hearts of men. These were not supernatural beings, but ordinary people who chose to commit extraordinary acts of evil. Their deeds left scars that would never heal. The monsters who exploited the sick and the vulnerable for their own twisted gain. They hid behind the guise of medical advancement, but their true motives were far more sinister. They sought power, control, and the thrill of playing God with human lives. The equipment they used, now rusting and forgotten, once buzzed with activity. Each machine a testament to the suffering inflicted, each tool a reminder of the pain endured. The records, yellowed with age, tell stories of agony and despair. Each file a chronicle of a life torn apart, a person reduced to a mere subject in a cruel experiment. The rooms, now empty and silent, once echoed with the cries of the tormented. Shadows move in the corners as if the past refuses to be forgotten. Outside, the garden has been overtaken by weeds, a stark contrast to the meticulous care once given to the grounds. Nature has reclaimed the space, but it cannot erase the memories of what happened here. The hospital sign, now broken and faded, stands as a silent witness to the horrors that unfolded. The letters, barely visible, are a haunting reminder of a place that promised healing but delivered only pain. Under the moonlight, the hospital takes on an eerie glow. Shadows cast by the moonlight seem to dance, as if the spirits of the past are still restless, unable to find peace. A locked door with a rusty padlock guards the entrance to the hidden wing. It stands as a barrier, keeping the secrets of the past locked away, but the truth has a way of seeping through the cracks. An abandoned hospital bed with dust-covered sheets is a poignant reminder of the lives that were lost. Each bed tells a story, each sheet a shroud for the forgotten. A faded photograph of a patient with torn edges lies on the floor. It is a silent testament to a life that once was, a person who was more than just a subject in an experiment. A hospital window, with broken glass, lets in a stream of moonlight. The light illuminates the darkness, revealing the scars of the past, but also offering a glimmer of hope that the truth will one day be fully known. Section 7. Beyond the grave, the hospital stands empty now, abandoned, left to decay. Once a place of healing, it has now become a monument to neglect and time's relentless march. The walls, once pristine and white, are now stained with the passage of years. The windows, shattered and broken, let in the cold wind that whistles through the empty corridors. The overgrown path leading to the entrance is a testament to how nature reclaims what is left behind. But the stories remain, passed down from generation to generation. A chilling reminder of the darkness that can fester in the human heart. Tales of doctors who lost their way, of patients who never left, and of experiments that went too far. These stories are whispered in hushed tones, as if speaking them aloud might summon the spirits that are said to haunt the place. Some say the hospital is truly haunted, that the spirits of those wronged still wander the halls, seeking justice, seeking peace. They speak of ghostly apparitions seen in the dead of night, of disembodied voices echoing through the empty rooms, and of cold spots that chill to the bone. These spirits, they say, are trapped in a place where they suffered, unable to move on until their stories are told and their pain acknowledged. Others say the real ghosts are the memories, the echoes of pain and suffering that cling to the walls. The hospital was a place where many came in search of hope, only to find despair. The walls have absorbed the cries of the afflicted, the whispers of the dying, and the silent tears of those who lost their loved ones. These memories linger, creating an atmosphere heavy with sorrow and regret, a constant reminder of the horrors that unfolded within. The hospital may be abandoned, but it is far from forgotten. It stands as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the thin line between healing and harm. As the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, the hospital takes on an even more sinister appearance, as if the building itself is alive with the memories of its dark past. It is a place where the past and present collide, where the living and the dead coexist, and where the stories of the past continue to haunt the present. Section 8. The Weight of Whispers. The Haunted Hospital of Karachi. This place, once a beacon of hope and healing, now stands as a monument to despair and desolation. Its walls, once filled with the sounds of life, now echo with the whispers of the past. The stories of those who walked its halls, both patients and staff, linger in the air, creating an atmosphere thick with memories and emotions, a place of sorrow, of fear, of secrets buried deep. The overgrown entrance with its broken windows and creeping vines seems to guard the secrets within. The courtyard, once a place of respite, now casts long, gloomy shadows that seem to move with a life of their own. The dark alleyways leading to the hospital are filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant call of a night bird. It stands as a chilling testament to the fragility of hope. The dilapidated facade, battered by time and weather, tells a story of neglect and abandonment. Inside, the empty corridors with their flickering lights seem to stretch on forever, each step echoing in the silence. The peeling paint on the walls is a stark reminder of the passage of time and the many lives that have passed through these halls, and the enduring power of darkness. As night falls, the hospital takes on an even more sinister appearance. Ominous clouds gather overhead, casting dark shadows that seem to dance in the moonlight. A shadowy figure near the hospital gate adds to the sense of unease, as if the building itself is alive and watching. The moonlight casts a cold, eerie glow over the scene, highlighting the hospital's dark and foreboding atmosphere. The city holds its breath. Karachi, a bustling metropolis, seems to pause in the presence of this haunted place. The quiet streets at night, usually filled with the sounds of life, fall silent as if in reverence or fear. From above, the hospital stands out against the city skyline, a dark blot on an otherwise vibrant landscape. It is a place that demands attention, that refuses to be forgotten. Trapped between the whispers of the past and the uncertainty of the future, the hospital remains. As twilight fades and the mist begins to rise, the hospital seems to exist in a world of its own. It is a place caught between two worlds where the past and the present collide. The whispers of those who once lived and worked here seem to float on the air, mingling with the mist and creating an atmosphere thick with history and mystery. A scar on the landscape, the ruins of the hospital with vines creeping up its walls and its structure crumbling under the weight of time, stand as a stark reminder of what once was. It is a place that has seen both joy and sorrow, life and death. The setting sun casts a warm glow over the scene, but it does little to dispel the sense of loss and abandonment that permeates the air. A haunting reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not the ones we imagine. The eerie reflections in the hospital windows, the sinister shadows that seem to move of their own accord, and the broken glass that glints in the fading light all serve to remind us of the true horrors that can exist in the world. These are not the monsters of our imagination, but the very real consequences of neglect, abandonment, and the passage of time. But the ones we create, the darkened entrance, the foreboding gate, and the dramatic lighting all combine to create a scene that is both terrifying and tragic. This hospital, once a place of healing, has become a symbol of the darkness that can exist within us all. It is a place that reminds us of the fragility of hope, the power of darkness, and the weight of whispers that can haunt us long after the voices have fallen silent. Section 9. The city holds its breath. The stories continue, each one a thread in the tapestry of the hospital's dark history, but the truth remains elusive, lost in the shadows, buried beneath layers of fear and speculation. The haunted hospital of Karachi, a place where the veil between the living and the dead seems thin, a place where reality blurs with nightmare, and the city holds its breath, waiting, wondering what secrets will be unearthed next.